Co.com.
It's time for game night, getting you ready for Sacramento Kings basketball.
He's got the bucket!
Game night is presented by Power Business Technology, your locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Contact them at 844-POWER-BZ or visit them at powercopiers.com. Here's your host, Scott Marsh, alongside the high flyer, Henry Turner.
And a very pleasant good evening to you. Welcome inside the Golden One Center. It's time for game night right here. Sacktown Sports, 1140. Scott Marsh along with the high flyer, Henry Turner. It's not like there's anything going on right now, high flyer.
Boy, oh boy, let's talk about it, Scott. Let's talk about it. Ooh, it's getting juicy, baby.
It is, man. Boy, what a day around this town today. You had the Monty McNair press conference at 9:30 this morning. You had the announcement with Levine coming in at noon today, introducing him to the media. That was a lot of fun. We just got done with Doug Christie's pregame presser. We saw the signing of Jonas Valanciunas, a guy you and I have been wanting to get for a long time. He's now in a Kings uniform. And we just got the news about Jimmy Buckets heading to the Warriors.
Wow.
What a day in the league.
Movement.
And we got De'Aaron Fox playing in the second half in San Antonio right now.
Movement. and we still ain't said nothing about Luka in L.A.
We haven't even touched on Luka in L.A. And also earlier today, Chris Middleton gets moved from Milwaukee.
Wow.
And Kyle Kuzma, who had been talked a lot about a possible Sacramento King, he's going to Milwaukee to play with Giannis.
Wow. Lot of shakeup, man. Like I say, it's spicy today.
It is. It is a beautiful day in our capital city. If you're coming out to the game tonight, I think you're in for a treat tonight as you'll see Zach LaVine for the first time in a Kings uniform, and I'm excited to see him. Coach Christie was playing coy when asked if Zach would start tonight or not. He kind of said, I've been thinking about it, and I knew you'd ask, and I'm still working on it and penciling things in. Of course, we know LaVine's starting tonight.
Did you hear what he said at the end?
No.
Come on.
We all know he's starting tonight.
Yeah.
So we're going to see Malik at the point, Zach at the 2. You'll have DeRozan at the 3, Keegan at the 4, and Sabonis at the 5. What do you think about the quote-unquote new-look Kings?
You know what, Scott? I really can't give you a full answer because I want to see what it looked like when the big fella comes.
Yes. He won't be here tonight.
Yes.
And the trade hasn't been officially announced yet. It's been reported. It's happening, but I've not seen an official release from the Sacramento Kings yet.
You know, I want to see what it looks like, Scott, when you got all the ingredients in the pot. Yeah. You know, just don't give me the chicken with the sausage. I need the shrimp and crab also. I need the whole gumbo.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
I know what you're talking about. That we had gumbo for our pregame meal tonight. We might be talking a lot more about gumbo as well, which is always a good thing. So no problems with that whatsoever. But it will be great to see Zach LaVine tonight. Obviously, you know, the first game that's on ESPN, the marquee game, is San Antonio and Atlanta. So seeing Fox Force 4 wearing that 4 jersey in San Antonio, it's a little strange. It's strange.
Yeah, I've seen that because everything that we've seen Fox wear has had a 5 on it. Mm-hmm. So, you know, to see him go down to 4 and kind of understood why he did it, you know, a tribute to the wife and everything, you know, I'm fine with that.
No doubt. It's all a great reason. And he had 18 points in the first half. And it's an adjustment, no doubt about that. De'Aaron will go down as one of the all-time great Kings. We understand that in 7+ years. And, you know, right now we're going through that transition. But tonight, what's great about it, we get a chance to truly move on and kind of see a new era of Kings basketball.
Yeah, you know, kind of like turn the page, if you will say. But, you know, you got to give it to the Kings and the organization. You talk about turning the page, man. I mean, this you can't say that they've sat on their fingers and they stayed pat. It just hasn't happened that way this year. You know, they get rid of Mike, all right, bring in Doug. You know, you move De'Aaron and, you know, you bring in Debo. I mean, now Valanciunas is on his way. And, I mean, the team has definitely tried to do pretty much everything that they possibly can do to make this team better.
No doubt. You know, if you're out there listening, watching on our YouTube stream, listening on one of the apps, you may not like the moves, but you can't question the intent of terms of where the Kings are trying to do and how they're trying to compete.
Right, because at the end of the day, Scott, you know, I've always said, even when De'Aaron was here, I always said that Wes and Monty's job is to always try to make this team better. You never, as a GM, sit on your hands and say, "Oh, yeah, we're good enough."
Yep.
No, you can't never do that. You always have to find, or if it's even just little tweaks of how can I make this team better, you're on the job 24/7.
Yep, and whether it was De'Aaron who demanded the trade or the Kings, it doesn't really matter at this point. The trade's been made. And if you look back in return, getting Zach LaVine, now you've got Jonas Valanciunas, and we can't forget that there's still over 12 hours left before the trade deadline's over. Who knows what else might happen?
Right. I mean, and why are you sticking on the number 12? Don't we have like a $12 million exemption with a couple of more down there?
Yeah. So we used that 12.6 exemption to get Valanciunas. We still got 16.8.
You still got 16.8 to go out and get another player. That's a lot of money, Scott, to go out and get a quality player. I'm not saying that you're going to be able to find an all-star with that type of cheese, but I'll tell you what, you'll be able to find another good complimentary player, because right now that's what the Kings are doing. The Kings are trying to fill out that bench that's struggling so badly.
No doubt it's not a perfect roster. Getting Valanciunas certainly addresses some big concerns. With LaVine, you certainly address a concern of this year's team, which has been the outside three-point shooting, which for the overall most part has not been good with this team. The glaring need is still another long athletic stretch player.
Right.
Whether they can get that or not, we don't know before the deadline tomorrow. But that will be very interesting to see. And the one thing I think, again, with De'Aaron, I don't think there's any doubt he was the most talented player on the Kings roster. He was the 1A on this team. Having said that, I like so much what I see from Malik at the point with this team.
Oh, for sure. I will say this, Scott. Malik Monk made it easier. I'm not going to say easy, but made it easier for the Kings to say, okay, we can move off of De'Aaron, because he's played Herculean at the point guard position. He came in seamlessly and ran this basketball team. So, when you change De'Aaron Fox from the head of the snake at the point guard position to a scoring two guard, well, that puts him in a whole nother realm of basketball player. So now you start looking and saying, okay, well, can we get a better two guard?
Yep.
And I mean, because at point, you probably would say, we're not getting Steph. Okay. We're not getting Trey. And, Chris Paul is already sold up for a while. It's hard to get another quality point guard that would have been better than De'Aaron at the point.
Yeah.
But when you start looking at the twos, okay, now that opens up a whole nother ball of wax.
Yep.
And, and here's the deal, Scott. I will never bash De'Aaron Fox. I'm not on the bash Fox bandwagon. He was ready to go, and I'm fine with that. The dude gave us his years. He gave us a lot here in Sacramento. I will always salute him for that. But at that particular point, it's basketball's a business. You have to move on. And to get a player such as a Zach LaVine, I honestly don't think you've lost anything. Now, you might have got a couple of years older, but as far as production, what you're going to get out there on the floor, we might have even got a little bit better, because Zach shoots the three-point ball better than Fox.
Yeah, he's an electric offensive player, and no doubt. I mean, obviously the Kings have wanted him for a while. They signed him to a qualifying sheet back when Vlade was GM. That's how long it goes back. The Bulls matched it. That's why he didn't come here years ago. But still, it's been something that the Kings have looked at for a long, long time. And now we finally get a chance to see him wearing the 8 here in Sacramento.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited to see this team after All-Star break, to where everybody can get here, everybody can get acclimated. Doug can have a couple of practice days to implement what he needs to implement with this new regime. And then let's toss the ball up and see what we got.
Let's see what we got.
Yeah, see what you got.
And, again, on Monday night, it's so hard. We haven't really talked about games so much. The Kings are playing the Orlando Magic tonight. We will get to that, of course. But on Monday night in Minnesota, the Kings on a dreadful road trip with everything going on with De'Aaron, I thought that effort was probably the best of the year. To respond like they did and beat a Minnesota team that got Anthony Edwards back, got Naz Reid, who wasn't expected to play, back in that lineup, to do what they did to rally to get a second win on their road trip, that was huge.
Scott, most basketball teams respond one or two ways to big trades. Either they fold up and they crumble because their number one guy has gone, or they come together as a team and say, okay, fellas, De'Aaron Fox isn't walking through this door.
Right.
His time is over with. Our brother is gone, but we still have a job to do, and everybody has to bring at least 10% more than what you usually give. And in that Minnesota game, we saw each and every last one of the Sacramento Kings players step their game up and, came out with that win in Minnesota that they sorely needed.
Yeah, no, that was a big time win for the Kings, who are one game above 500, 25-24. So game 50 brings Zach LaVine to Sacramento. It'll be a quick one-game homestand. They go up to Portland tomorrow night for the back-to-back, back at home on Saturday. They take on the Pelicans, and you can't overlook the irony of perhaps Jonas Valanciunas' first home game as a King will come against the Pels, the team that he killed us as a Pelican.
Yeah, Valanciunas has been solid from the giddy up. Yeah. Him and Sabonis are very, very close. They know each other very, very well. They work out in the summer together. Yeah. So, think of it like this, Scott. You got Zach LaVine and Debo back together. Yeah. They know each other very well. They were teammates. And now you got Sabonis with Valanciunas, who they're boys. They know each other very, very well. I mean, you talk about teams needing time to gel. Well, it shouldn't be too hard of a maturation because these guys know each other. They played with each other. And then when you really want to look at the camaraderie, well, Debo played with the big fella down in Toronto with the Raptors. For 6 years. Yeah. So, there's camaraderie all the way around. No doubt. So it shouldn't be a situation to where, it's going to take about a year for these guys to get to know each other. I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I'm glad you brought that up because when we get back, I want to talk about the building of that chemistry. Another factor, I think, with the way Doug's running things will be important too. We'll talk about that when we come back. Game night's underway from the Golden One Center. We are looking forward to tonight. This is going to be a lot of fun out here. Zach LaVine making his debut with the Sacramento Kings as the Kings get ready to take on the Orlando Magic. This is Game Night. It's brought to you by the law firm of Gingery, Hammer & Associates. If you're ever in an injury, just call Gingery. We'll have that Gingery injury report coming up later on in the show. It's Game Night right here, Sacktown Sports, 1140.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Meanwhile at Xfinity.
Okay, huddle up. Do you realize how many fans stream basketball? It's madness.
But real fans stream with Xfinity Internet.
Totally. We've engineered the fastest connection.
With reduced buffering and low lag.
'Cause making streaming better is what we do!
Yeah?
Yeah!
Can we let go now? It's really not a huddle with two people.
Switch to Xfinity Internet and stream live sports from the best seat in the house. Bring on the good stuff. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Actual speed vary. Not guaranteed.
Hi, this is Henry Turner. No one likes waiting. Sometimes, even minutes can feel like an eternity. So imagine if you're youth waiting for a mentor. It seems like years. Big brothers and big sisters of the greater Sacramento area need your help. More than 100 kids in the Sacramento, Yolo, and South Placer County are waiting for someone to defend their potential. Come on, Sacramento. Stand up. Let's do this the high flyer way. With your help, we can make this thing a slam dunk. Join us at bbbs.sac.org or call 916-646-9300.
At Stockton Honda, we know how to honor a great deal. Like right now, during our President's Day sales event, you can find star-spangled savings on some of our best models. Why not stop in today and see for yourself? Save thousands with low APR financing and great lease rates on over 500 new Hondas at Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Whitey here, reminding you that not all grills are created equal and every detail matters. Check out the new Napoleon Prestige and Rogue models and see the difference a Napoleon makes. Napoleon grill set features other grills can't match. They're built different, built better, built built to last, complete with a lifetime warranty and premium stainless steel, boasting absolute quality. Napoleon knows that the smallest details add up to make a big difference when curating your perfect grilling experience. Visit Green Acres Nursery today for your best selection of Napoleon grills and accessories.
Morning, Paula.
Morning, Ron.
Another day in Adminville, am I right?
What are you working on? Oh!
You okay?
Your tabs. You have so many open.
Yeah, gotta order lunch for the big client meeting. With great responsibility comes tabs.
I can help. Close all those tabs and open just one, easycater.com. Online ordering from local restaurants, plus tools to save time, stay on budget, track expenses.
One tab to rule them all.
EasyCater, the smarter way to order food for work. Order now at easycater.com.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Welcome back in the game night right here, Sacktown Sports 1140. We are coming to you live from the Golden One Center as we do before every home game, and this one's got a special feel tonight. The new look Kings debut here. Zach LaVine will be starting for Sacramento. Jonas Valanciunas will not be here, but he is the newest member of the Sacramento Kings, as today the Kings trade for Valanciunas. And again, Henry, that is a guy we have been almost begging for here in Sacramento on this show for a long period of time. So happy that got done. Valanciunas, in case you're wondering on his contract situation, he's in the first year of a 3-year deal, pays him a little over $30 million. He's owed $9.9 this year, $10.4 next, $10 million non-guaranteed in 26-27. The Kings are using their $12.8 million mid-level exemption to absorb the contract. Of course, he's coming over from Washington, so the Kings are sending the Wizards a 2028 Denver Nuggets second-round pick and their own 2029 second-round pick. To me, that feels like very small compensation to get Valanciunas back.
You know, you didn't even have to give up a player.
Yep.
You know, that's big. That's a big-time move for the Sacramento Kings to be able to pull a guy such as a Valanciunas off of Washington without giving up a guy. That's big.
I really think it is, too. I am excited to see him on this roster and have a true big man on the roster that Doug Kirsty can use. Speaking of Doug, going back to what we finished off with and your point in terms of the chemistry, probably easier to put together on a shorter period of time because these guys all know each other. I think the other factor, too, I was talking to G-Man about this, Bobby Gerald, of course, the G-Man's son who follows basketball like no other, made a very interesting point that, Billy Donovan, being a college coach, runs a lot of set plays with the Bulls in Chicago, and it's not freedom of movement for the Bulls. And to some extent, maybe holding down Zach LaVine, who's averaging 24 points a game this year, but the guy who left on his own devices could average over 30. And it'll be interesting to me because when Doug took over for Mike Brown, the first thing he did was simplify the offense and the defense. The Kings are running a lot more read and react right now than a lot of the set plays that they were a little bit earlier in the year. And I think it's going to make it easier for the guys, too. And I'm really interested to see how Zach LaVine plays in a free-flowing offense.
Yeah, I would have to say that, being in a system to where you're free and you have freedom and you can shoot and you can run to any place, it's very easy to get acclimated because it's almost like you're playing street ball.
Yeah.
And then that's something that we've done all our lives. We played pickup basketball. So to be able to read and react, that's one of the first things you learn how to do on a basketball floor. So I would have to agree with you. It's not that hard to get acclimated. All you have to do is read and make the right cut.
No doubt. And as you mentioned with Debo and with LaVine, they know where each other wants the ball, right, how they want it, all those things. Malik obviously is fit in easily with DeRozan, and you've got Sabonis and Valanciunas who have played together a ton of times together. And I'm interested to see what do you think as this moves along? Again, he's not even here.
I know where you're going.
Well, I have to ask the question.
I see what street you on.
How much time will we see Sabonis and Valanciunas on the floor together?
You know what? I honestly think it depends on who you're playing.
Yeah.
You know, if you're playing a basketball team that has two big guys that, you know, likes to do, let's say, for example, maybe if you have to match up with Minnesota again and Randall's on the floor.
Yeah.
You know, you got Randall and Reed out there.
Right.
You know, you got to deal with that.
It'll be interesting to see. But obviously, Valanciunas will get minutes on this team. And, you know, that I think if there's anything done between today and tomorrow, it's real interesting to see what might happen to Alex Len with the roster now, right?
Yeah, I mean, really a bunch of those guys.
Yeah.
Because if the Kings are still trying to get some longer athletic players in here, I mean, you got to take a look at Alex Len. You got to take a look at Jay Crowder. You got to take a look at Dougie McBuckets.
Yep.
All three of those guys are guys that can be moved to bring in, you know, some more depth and some more scoring or some more defense.
No doubt. And truthfully, that's one of the things we're going to be looking for, at least I will, when the Kings come out to warm up officially. There's people warming out on the floor right now. But will everybody be warming up? Because you know the night before a trade deadline, when you don't see somebody on the floor, somebody going back to the locker room mid-game, you know something's up. You know something's happening. It's going down.
Yeah, no doubt, Scott. I mean, I've been in the locker room. I've been on the floor. I've seen situations where guys are in layup line.
Yeah.
And hey, come on over here. You've been traded. Go take that jersey off.
Yeah.
So, you know, all those things can happen as a basketball player.
No doubt. We've seen that here at Golden One Center happen during a game. And it could happen again tonight. Who knows? And again, Henry, you've experienced this, but this is truly the night before the finish line. This is truly the calm before the storm right now. You got to think everybody on that roster minus Levine, you know, minus Valanciunas who isn't here. I mean, everybody's thinking about what if.
Scott, let me tell you, this trade deadline, everybody in the league is shaking.
Yep.
I mean,
if Luka can go, anybody can go.
Hey, you heard Ant-Man put it best. He was like, I'm nervous right now. He said, you know, if a 25-year-old almost face of the league has been traded, nobody's safe.
Yeah, that's so true. Well, we will keep you updated on that. Of course, that will make it very interesting indeed. But, of course, we've got a game here tonight. The Orlando Magic who come in, they're struggling. You got to give them credit. They're still in contention in the East. They're in the top 8. But they've had a tough road trip here. They've had a ton of injuries. We'll focus in on that later on. But when we come back, we're going to get you caught up on all the other trades that have gone down in the league. As we mentioned, Kyle Kuzma going to the Bucks. I want to get your thoughts now with the big three with Lillard, Giannis, and Kuzma. And also Jimmy Buckets going to the Golden State Warriors, where it seemed like that deal was not going to go down. It felt like Jimmy Butler did not want to go to Golden State. Well, he didn't have the ultimate say in this one. He is going to Golden State. They'll have the big three of Steph and Draymond and Butler. We'll break that all down. We'll get you the exact details of all of that when we come back. It's a very busy game night coming to you live from the Golden One Center right here on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out sacktownsports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on sacktownsports.com.
Hi. I'm Justin Gingery from the law firm of Gingery, Hammer & Associates. When you have been injured by the fault of another, you will want advice you can trust. If you know an attorney you can trust, I hope you call that person. But if you don't, please call me. I promise I will be the attorney you can trust, along with my entire team. I have been helping accident survivors recover compensation for their injuries for 25 years, and we can help you. There is no charge for calling. If you have an injury, Just call Gingery.
Hurry in and save big during Honda's President's Day sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hurry in and save on our best selection of new Hondas. Each is priced to sell now. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on a giant selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Civics, and Accords with low finance and lease options. Plus, get an instant cash offer for your trade. Get to Folsom Lake Honda or go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
It was 1879 when the first President's Day was established, and it's been a holiday ever since. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. I'm guessing when the Keys family opened the first Naturewood Home Furnishing store in 1948, a President's Day sale was not top of the mind. But the family probably celebrated the holiday with a picnic and a big slice of cherry pie. The store name Naturewood was selected to reflect the quality of the wood furniture for sale, and that focus on quality continues today with brands like Flex Steel, Trailway, Stickley, Fusion Designs, Stanton, and many, many more. The Naturewood Home Furnishings President's Day sale is the perfect time for you to find the right accent piece for your living room, a new bed for your bedroom, or to completely refurnish your entire home. See all the fine furniture and accessories on sale with Naturewood's President's Day sale. Find that perfect piece of furniture that's new today and filled with memories for tomorrow. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water reel.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers. T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with turbo power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With AutoPay plus taxes and fees, plus $5 per line without AutoPay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Motorola Edge on us with 24 monthly bill credits and new line for well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 per line connection charge. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
KHD-KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140.
Welcome back into Game Night right here, Sacktown Sports 1140. Scott Marsh along with the high flyer, Henry Turner. As always, Game Night being brought to you by Power Business Technology. Check out for yourself how the Power family can help you with all your business copier needs. Give them a call today, 1-844-POWER-BZ, or simply go to powercopiers.com. Well, warming up right now is Zach LaVine. He's getting some work done at the free throw line. I love the juxtaposition. You've got Sabonis shooting threes and LaVine shooting free throws.
Right. You know, how ironic is that?
It is. Doug Christie called LaVine a 5-level scorer. I had never heard that term used before. I always heard 3 levels, but now, you know, there's 5 levels. If you go block, mid-range, 3-point, deep 3-point range, and free throws.
And above the rim.
Maybe he's a 6-level player.
You know, I mean,
yeah.
It's so many levels how you can score nowadays. Like say, you have the long ball, you have the mid-range shots, you have the low post game, you have the free throw game, and you got the above the rim game.
Yeah. Well, we're going to see a lot of it on display tonight. Again, LaVine averaging 24 points a game, having one of his best seasons. Will be starting for the Kings. We've got to turn our attention to some of the league news. Obviously, a ton of stuff going on here in Sacramento. They've been on the national spotlight, of course. And De'Aaron Fox still in action tonight in San Antonio. We'll update you on those numbers as well. And, you know, not to get off topic, but boy, to see the combination of Chris Paul with De'Aaron Fox with Wemby, that's a pretty unbelievable 1-2-3 punch in terms of 3 players who run the pick and roll at the absolute best.
Oh, my God. I mean, it's going to be lethal.
Yeah,
you know?
It is.
I mean, think about it. De'Aaron Fox did his homework before he said he wanted to go to San Antonio.
Yeah.
It's not like he just threw that out there just on a whim.
Yeah.
You know, to be linked with that dude is you know, you understand you want to be a Robin to a Batman for a long time.
You have a chance to be one of the biggest duos in NBA history.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
And you know, and this dude is just going to get better and better and better.
Yeah, there's no question about it. All right. We're going to go back to our studios. Anthony, who you see on our YouTube stream as well, is seeing everything going down by the minute. Anthony, update us on that Jimmy Butler trade as best we know it now, because it was a trade to begin with, and there's been other trades sent because of it.
Yeah, it's still definitely in motion. Let's start from the beginning. So obviously Miami is sending Jimmy Butler to the Warriors, and Andrew Wiggins, Dennis Schroeder, and Kyle Anderson are involved, as well as a protected first-round pick. Andrew Wiggins, as far as I'm aware, is going to end up in Miami, as well as that first-round pick. But an extra part of it is Utah is getting Dennis Schroeder, and Kyle Anderson was originally supposed to go to Toronto as a part of this, but as of 5 minutes ago, that fell through. So he's no longer going to Toronto. He might end up in Miami. He might not. Lindy Waters is also a part of this trade, and we are not sure where he'll end up yet as well. And PJ Tucker will end up in Miami from Utah. That's all we really know about this trade as of right now. Also, Jimmy Butler has re-signed an insane extension where he will be making approximately $112 million a year over the course of 2 years.
You mean $56 million a year, right?
Yeah, yes. That's what I meant.
Yeah, 112 over 2.
Yes, 112 over 2 years. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Yes. He broke the bank.
Yeah, so that is a huge cap hit for the Warriors, who are already really impacted.
Yeah, that's an amazing move. Anthony, thanks for the update. We'll get back to you in just a little bit. High Flyer, let's break this down. I mean, the biggest part of it, there's a lot of moving pieces, but the bottom line is the Warriors now have Curry, Draymond, and Butler.
Right.
That big three, how does it shake things up for the Warriors?
I don't know. I don't know because, talent-wise, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Talent-wise, they're pretty good. But I look at both of those guys, and I'm talking about Butler and Draymond. It's all about the mental aspect of the game with them. Is Jimmy Butler going to be, let Draymond still run that basketball team the way he runs it? Steph has always let Draymond have his way and have his say as far as what happens on that basketball team. But is Jimmy Butler going to be one that's going to be willing to receive a lot of the criticism that Draymond likes to give out?
That will be an interesting dynamic. Obviously, they're both veteran players. There's a ton of respect. They both have been a part of deep playoff runs. I think they'll find a way. I mean, Jimmy Butler, we know when Jimmy Butler is going right, he can be an absolute guy who can carry you.
Oh, no doubt. Like I said, talent-wise, for sure. The dude plays like no other.
Yeah.
But I'm just talking about, we know how Draymond gets when things don't go his way or the way he think that they should go.
Yeah.
And really, I've watched Jimmy Butler's game. Jimmy Butler's game is pretty much a slow-down, methodical game. The Golden State Warriors pick, cut, pick, re-pick, cut. Their basketball game is a little faster than what Jimmy is used to playing. And like I said, we hear Draymond screaming at Buddy about screen, re-pick, screen, go. I mean, it's just the way they play their style of basketball. Is Jimmy going to be able to acclimate to that?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Obviously, Steve Kerr, if anybody can pull them together, you got to think that Steve Kerr can do that, the Warrior pedigree. They didn't have to give up Kuminga. I think that's huge. They did give up Wiggins, who's playing great this year.
Well, you know what? I knew Wiggins had to be expendable when you start talking about somebody like Jimmy Buckets, because that's, Jimmy really don't get out of his element.
Yeah.
He's not going to go down and play the 4. He's a true 3. And that's exactly what Wiggins is. So I kind of figured Wiggins was going to be the guy that was going to be out on that situation.
Yeah, a lot of smoke, but nothing yet on Kevin Durant. There was talk that he might go to Golden State. He didn't want to go there reportedly. What's Phoenix going to do? They haven't made a move as of yet. But right now, if you look at the West, the Suns, the Warriors, and the Kings are all at 25 and 24. All these teams have 33 games left in the year. Right now, based on rosters as we know them, could change by noon tomorrow.
Right.
What team would you like to be of the 3?
I'm feeling good about our squad.
I am kind of too.
I really am. I mean, just with the addition of Valanciunas and Zach, I'm feeling pretty good about this roster. Now, if they could pull out one more string and bring another long, lean, athletic guy that can score, well, I'm ecstatic. I'm warm and fuzzy, as I like to call it.
Well, Phoenix, I think, was banking on getting Butler. That's out of the picture now. So what is Phoenix's play at the moment?
Right, and with KD understanding that they're willing to move up off of him.
Yeah.
But you can't move up off of KD, player for player. That's not going to happen.
No.
All the players that you could have moved KD for are gone already.
Exactly.
So it's going to have to be, one of those 3-team trades to try to get KD.
No doubt. There's a lot of thinking going on in Phoenix right now because as of right now, they're the losers at the trade deadline. They've got nothing going on. They have time to change that, of course. All right, Anthony, let's go back to you. The other big trade as we know it today involved the Bucks and Chris Middleton, who got sent, I believe, to Washington in exchange for Kyle Kuzma, who's been mentioned forever, possibly in a Kings uniform. Now he'll be part of the big three in Milwaukee, right?
Yes, this trade is finalized, not finalized, but this trade isn't moving as much as the other trade. So the Bucks are trading Chris Middleton, AJ Johnson, and a pick swap to the Wizards for Kyle Kuzma, Patrick Baldwin Jr., and second-round draft compensation. No exact details on the second round.
Yeah, but it's basically Middleton for Kuzma. What do you make of that, High Flyer? I mean, let's take a look at the Bucks really quick. Let me update the Eastern Conference standings for you. So the Bucks, before making that move, in fifth place, 26 and 22. They're behind the Cavs, the Celtics, the Knicks, and the Pacers right now. What does that do for Doc Rivers?
Weird. One thing is that you usually don't trade players, especially your 1-2 combination, because for a long time it was Giannis and Chris Middleton. That was your 1-2 punch until they got Dame. Yeah. So it's really hard to move one of your guys in the same conference. I know we just did the same thing also.
Sure.
We just sent De'Aaron to San Antonio, but usually in the NBA things like that don't really happen. But I kind of had the feeling that they're trying to really appease Giannis. And with Middleton being as hurt and being out as much as he possibly has, that's kind of like maybe soured their friendship or relationship or whatever they had going, because Giannis like, hey, I understand who he is. He's my friend, but we need a guy that you can count on that's going to be out here in the uniform.
Yeah, exactly. Kuzma is a guy who seems to step up in bigger moments. He obviously has won a championship with the Lakers. Maybe this is the move he makes. I mean, it's pretty tough not to be stagnant on a Wizards team that's one of the worst records in league history.
Well, I will say this for Kyle Kuzma. You're not asked to be a number 1. You're not asked to be a number 2. You may not even be the number 3 on that basketball floor. You're asked to be a piece of the puzzle. So let's say if he's a 4th option, because you still got the big boy Brook Lopez on the squad.
Yeah.
You're the 4th option, and if you got a guy that has the talent of a Kyle Kuzma at a 4 option, yes, you're going to flourish, because pretty much on any given night, you're going to be the best 4th option on the floor.
Yeah, no doubt. He's going to get a lot of open threes in the corner.
Right. You're going to get a lot of cuts to the basket and, second chance rebounds and things of that sort, because, they're going to be looking at you. You're going to have a man and a half on Giannis.
Yep.
You're going to have a man and a half on Dame. You and Brook Lopez, y'all can just roam around and find buckets.
Yep. All right. Got to ask you the toughest question of them all right now.
Here it comes.
So when we take San Antonio into the mix, they're currently 21 and 26. You look at the Kings roster as it is. You look at the Spurs' new revamped roster as it is. Just talking for this year, not mapping out to the future, but for this year, whose roster do you like better in terms of being able to make a move up the conference standings?
Ours right now. What San Antonio did isn't for right now.
No, but certainly it could be immediate, right?
It could be, but it's not for right now. They're definitely going to be looking to make some more splashes next year. Seeing that give Wimmy another year under his belt. You give De'Aaron a half a year to get acclimated, and you bring in a couple more pieces, and now you start looking at, okay, what can they be? But, our situation is we're still trying to hold court right now.
Yep.
We're still trying to win right now. We're still trying to take that next step this year.
Yep. No doubt. And it'll be interesting, too. The trade deadline's not over in San Antonio either, if Chris Paul will be on that team afternoon tomorrow.
I would think so.
I would, too, but I wouldn't be shocked if he wasn't.
No, because, Chris Paul is still a good asset.
Yeah,
in this
absolutely.
league. So if it's a situation to where they could move Chris Paul and probably bring in something that's more needy in their situation and a younger player, you pull that plug.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. All right, we've got a lot of time until the deadline. It doesn't feel like a lot of time, but 18 hours in the league, the way things are going right now, is an eternity. All right, when we come back, we will focus in on the game. We'll get you the injury report for tonight's contest, and we'll talk a little bit about the Kings and the Magic. It's the 50th game of the year. The Kings are looking to get 2 games above 500, coming home from that 6-game roadie where they went 2-4. We'll have it all covered for you here. It's game night. Coming to you live from the Golden One Center right here. Sacktown Sports, 1140.
Maida Chevy saves you $8,000 off MSRP on new 2025 half-ton Silverado LT and RST after rebates.
Resolve to save now with $8,000 off new Silverados at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See dealer for details. That's on 2011 or newer Chevrolet.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
We could all use more time. Amazon Business offers smart business buying solutions so you can spend more time growing your business and less time doing the admin. I can see why they call it smart. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Right now, get up to a $15 gift card after rebate when you purchase select Superstart batteries exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Fall head over boots in love with music this Valentine's Day. Get ready for Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, returning May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, and more. Enjoy food trucks, mechanical bulls, and line dancing. Tickets start at just $52. Visit CITPfest.com. Brought to you by Hyatt Vacation Club. Don't just say, I love you. Show it with music. Buy tickets now.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. You know I'm a huge fan of their SUVs and sedans, but they also have a huge Vans Fleet Center. Listen up, business owners. Now is the perfect time to take advantage of tax deductions. They have the perfect van to power your fleet, including the new fully electric e-Sprinter alongside their very reliable diesel options. And even if you aren't a business owner, let's say you just want one for personal reasons. Maybe you want to go out on the town with the fellas or with the ladies, or maybe you want to take the kids on a road trip. Well, their vans are fully customizable. So check out Mercedes-Benz of Stockton right now. You can choose from their dependable diesel models or even go all electric with the new e-Sprinter. So head on down to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton right now and check out their fleet center. Or, of course, you can go online at mbfstockton.com. That's mbfstockton.com.
Welcome back in the game night right here, Sacktown Sports, 1140. Scott Marsh along with the high flyer Henry Turner. We'll take you up until 6:30 tonight. Get you ready for Kings Live pregame. Jason Ross is here with Henry for that. The G-Man ready to make the call, and I can't wait to hear his first introduction of Zach LaVine in a Kings uniform. That's going to be fun tonight, a treat for everybody coming out here to take in some Kings basketball, to see Zach LaVine for the first time as a Sacramento King. Game night being brought to you by the Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Sacramento. Great cause in our community. If you're of the mindset you want to help a child who needs an outside mentor from the family, this is the organization for you. A lot of kids grow up in single-parent households. They could use an outside volunteer mentor. Check it out. If you have a heart of service such as that, all you have to do is go to bbbs-sac.org. BBBS, Big Brothers Big Sisters-sac.org, and find out all the information. All right, let's get to our injury report for tonight's contest. There is a game on the floor as much as of what's going on off the floor. And by the way, the Jonas Valanciunas deal is official now. The Sacramento Kings communications team has sent out a release as of 5:59. The Kings acquiring Jonas Valanciunas for a 2028 second-round pick and a 2029 second-round pick as well. Seems pretty cheap to me to get a quality veteran center on this team. All right, Anthony, take it away with our Gingery and Hammer Associates injury report for tonight.
All right, so for Orlando, Mo Wagner has been out for season with a torn ACL. Jalen Suggs is out. He was initially listed as doubtful with a quadricep injury. And Mac McClung was recently signed to a two-way contract by the Magic on Saturday, and he's listed as a game-time decision as of right now. And then for the Kings, we have no one. No one is on the injury report.
Yep, and Zach LaVine will be playing tonight, so that's great news. And for Matt McClung, I think they're just trying to get him on the NBA roster to get him some warm-up dunks for the slam dunk competition coming up in a couple weeks.
That's right. The young fella going into for what, 3 times?
Exactly. He's trying to make it a three-peat.
Yeah, he's going in for a three-peat. I'm with that.
Now, you understand the term three-peat is a officially trademarked term. Pat Riley, when the Lakers won, he trademarked three-peat. So, for example, if the Chiefs win, they cannot use three-peat on any sort of merchandise or swag or anything else. They would have to pay Pat Riley, I believe, $1 million fee to do so.
I'm about to say, I mean, you know, but hey, if you win the show, repeat here,
it might be worth the price.
Hey, I'm telling you, go ahead, Pat. Take this little cheese right here. We're gonna use this repeat.
Exactly. All right, let's talk about this game a little bit. That's why we're here, right? To see some Kings basketball and hopefully see a win tonight. Orlando's a team that we have a lot of respect for. This is a team that's up and coming in the Eastern Conference. We like their roster. Right now, they've just been ravished by injuries. They're still hanging in there, but they're not the team coming in tonight that we thought they would be earlier in the year. Right?
No, because they came out straight balling. Paulo Banchero took this basketball team and put it on his shoulders, and with the Wagner brothers, and they have been playing basketball at a very high level, Scott. But like you said, injuries. That will take you from great to the GOAT, you know, to where you really gets to struggling. But I will say this about the Orlando Magic. They have been able to hold court. Banchero had been out for a long period of time, and they were still able to win basketball games. It's when, you know, the Wagner brothers got injured and a couple other guys went down to where they really start struggling. But before that, they were definitely a competitor in the East.
No doubt. I mean, in the East, you could be under 500 still in the top 8. That's the case with Orlando. They're 24-27, but they've only won one of their last 10 games.
Right. You know, it seems like they've hit that skid. You know, every team in the NBA has pretty much hit that lull, except the two, except Cleveland and except OKC. They're just balling out of their minds. But at the end of the day, you know, you got to go through those parts to where you're going to lose 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you do, you know, you try to cut it as quickly as possible and get back into the winning column.
Yeah, no doubt. And with Banchero out, that hurt their chances. He's back now. He's still trying to find his groove. He isn't the same player right now that he was before his injury, trying to reacclimate and all that stuff. Hasn't found his shot yet. But, you know, we're looking at him right now, and that is one big man.
Yeah, I mean, he's tall and he's thick. You know, he's not a slim string bean that, you know, is a high flyer that gets above the rim. The dude has some size on him.
He had an incredible game here last year for the Magic.
Played very well. I mean, I was very much impressed by how he played. You know, he plays at his speed. You know, he's kind of like a 6'9", 6'10" DeMar DeRozan.
Yep.
You know, you don't speed him up. He gets to his spots. He's very methodical. I mean, I was just shocked at how well he got it done at being such a young age.
No doubt. Rookie of the year, of course, and one of the rising stars in this league, no doubt about it. All right, looking at the Kings, we know Zach LaVine's going to be out there tonight. What are you looking for from Sacramento?
A win. You know, Scott, with everything that we have going on, all the trades, all the movements of the roster, who's going to start, who's going to come off the bench, all of those things being said means nothing. To this basketball team, W's is all that matters because they don't have that equity to let things slide. They don't have the time to say, okay, we have to get acclimated. They have to keep winning and keep winning at a big rate.
No doubt. And I thought Doug had the best answer in the pregame presser. He was asked if he was going to take Zach up on the roof to show him the beam and explain the whole concept of everything. And Doug's like, you know what? We don't have to do that. I just hope he lights the beam tonight.
Doug like, hell no. All he got to do is light the beam. He can see it on the ride to the airport, on the ride home.
Just win, baby.
Right.
All right. A couple of minutes left. I have to ask you this. De'Aaron Fox, of course, is wearing 4. What I didn't realize, Stephon Castle wears 5 for the San Antonio Spurs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I just is watching the game here. It's a close game in Atlanta right now. Thriller 123-121. I know that De'Aaron said he changed his number because of his wife, and I respect all of that. I just wonder if Stephon Castle was there first with 5 and a rookie who a lot of people were thinking are going to be a really special player in this league.
Well, I tell you what, according to the bylaws, Stephon Castle, you got to come up off that jersey.
Yeah.
De'Aaron has years. And he's an all-star too?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but come on, young fella.
Yeah.
Come off that fire.
All right, so.
But De'Aaron, being the guy that he is, he's not going to come in there and ruffle feathers like that. Yeah. You find another reason to get another number. And, if it means that much to you, at the end of the year, you want to step on and talk about it and see if y'all can get something done.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, the Spurs trying to get their first win with De'Aaron. The Kings trying tonight to get their first win with Zach LaVine in a Kings uniform. That's going to do it for Game Night. Fun show tonight. Is always great to work with you, Henry.
Yes, sir.
Have a good time with Kings Live pregame. And, of course, the game tonight, Kings taking on the Orlando Magic. We've got you covered all evening long here. Keep it tuned. Sacramento Kings basketball right here on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Keegan Murray plays here.
Keegan scores another three-pointer. Keegan Murray knocking it down for 23.